All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about a tool that is genuinely changing how we work with data, especially on our own laptops. It's ridiculously fast, super powerful, and it lives right inside your code.
Oh, you know this feeling. We've all been there, right? You've got some massive CSV, maybe a multi-gigabyte Parquet file. You fire up pandas to load it, and you just sit there, watching that cursor spin. Maybe you've even thought about setting up a whole local database server, like Postgres, just to run a few queries. But it feels like, I don't know, using a sledgehammer to crack a nut? Well, that exact frustration is where this whole story starts.
So what's the answer to the struggle? Well, say hello to DuckDB. Seriously, this thing is a game changer. It's built from the ground up to solve these exact local data problems, giving you incredible analytical power without any of the heavy, complicated setup.
Okay, that's a whole lot of jargon, I know. It's a total mouthful. Let's just break it down. The first key phrase here is in process. Now, unlike a normal database that runs as a separate server you have to connect to, DuckDB runs inside your application. It's basically just a library you import, not a server you manage. And OLAP, that just stands for Online Analytical Processing. Fancy term, but it just means it's built for what we do. Complex queries, slicing and dicing data, and scanning huge tables. It's made for analysis.
Here is the absolute best way to think about it. You've probably heard of SQLite, right? The tiny serverless database that's in like everything from your phone to your web browser. Well, people call DuckDB the SQLite for analytics. It's the perfect analogy. SQLite is amazing for storing data row by row for transactions. DuckDB is its analytical twin, built for lightning-fast, complex analysis. So what's the secret sauce here? Well, first, it's embedded. No server to manage, period. Second, it's built for insane speed, using Columnar and vectorized processing. We're going to unpack that in just a second. And get this, it's a breeze to install. It reads modern formats like Parquet and Arrow without you having to do anything special, and it's completely open source. You get all of this power with basically zero setup headaches. So how in the world is it so fast? It really boils down to two very clever architectural choices. So let's pull back the curtain and take a look at the engine inside. First up, how it stores data. You see, a traditional database stores data in rows. So if you've got a row with an ID, a name, and a sale amount, all that data is physically stored together. But what if you only want to calculate the average sale amount? The database still has to read past the ID and the name for every single row just to get to the data you want. DuckDB flips that on its head. It stores all the values for a single column together. So when you ask for just the sale amounts, it reads only that one column from the disk. It skips everything else, and that right there is a massive, massive speed boost. The second piece of magic is something called vectorized execution. So old school engines process data one single row at a time. It's like going grocery shopping and carrying items to your car one by one. It's incredibly slow, just a ton of wasted effort. DuckDB, though, processes data in big chunks, or vectors. So now you're grabbing a whole armful of groceries at once. This hugely reduces the overhead and just lets your modern CPU fly. And here's the kicker. Because DuckDB is an in-process engine, it's running right there inside your code. So you know what the network latency is? It's zero, zilch, nada. There's no network to cross, no sockets to open. The engine and the data are in the exact same place, which makes it absolutely perfect for that fast, interactive work you do in a notebook. Okay, so that's the how. It's clever stuff. But let's talk about the why. Why does this matter? Where are you actually going to use this in your daily workflow? This table just brings it all home. I mean, think about it. If you're a data analyst, instead of waiting forever for a 10 gigabyte Parquet file to load into memory, you can just query it instantly with SQL. If you're a data scientist, you can run these complex data cleaning transformations across tons of files without some clunky, slow process. And if you're an engineer, you can build an app with powerful analytics baked right in, with zero, and I mean zero, external dependencies. And hey, the numbers don't lie. Look at this breakdown. The vast majority of its use, a whopping 70% combined, is in data exploration and data prep. That's its sweet spot. It takes the messy, interactive, and often really slow parts of our jobs and makes them fast and, honestly, kind of fun. But look, let's be real. No tool is a silver bullet for everything. To be a smart user of DuckDB, you have to know not just where it shines, but also where it doesn't. So let's talk about the limitations. So here's the bottom line. DuckDB is a single node engine. It lives and dies on one machine. It is not a replacement for a distributed system like Spark when you're dealing with petabytes of data across a whole cluster. It's also not built for those heavy transactional systems where thousands of people are trying to write data at the exact same time. And of course, it's limited by the RAM and CPU of your laptop. It's an incredible tool, but it's for a specific and very common job. So after hearing all that, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds amazing, but it's probably a huge pain to set up. Well, I've got some good news for you. This is the best part. It is almost ridiculously easy to get started. I mean, just look at this. It's 3 steps. That's it. 1, pip install DuckDB. 2, you're imported and connect. You don't even need to give it a file path if you just want to work in memory. And 3, you start running SQL. Seriously, there's no step 4. The barrier to entry here is basically on the floor. And this one line of code is just, it's beautiful. It shows everything we've been talking about. You're using a SQL command to query a Parquet file directly off the disk. You didn't load it first, and then you just chain on .df at the end, and boom, you get a perfect Pandas data frame back. It's the best of both worlds. The raw power of SQL meets the flexibility of Python. And really, that's the magic of DuckDB, isn't it? You get all the incredible performance of a modern analytical database, but with the dead simple feel of a local library. It just empowers you to work faster, to iterate quicker, and to handle way bigger data than you thought possible, all there on your laptop. So that brings us to the end. But the real question is, what are you going to do with this? Think about that one big, slow, frustrating file sitting on your hard drive right now. With DuckDB, you're just one pip install away from finally taming it. Go have some fun.